Testing, testing. Okay, I need my headphones. All right. Testing, 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 testing. Testing. All right. Let's get into it. All right, let's do some top-down analysis. Clearly downtrending. Let's look at the daily. Same thing over here. No bottom wick on the daily. No bottom wick on the daily. Yep. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is starting to show some bearish pressure. Let's look at the 30-minute. I did want to take sells over here. Just a little bit hesitant on it. Yep, so nothing right now. There is nothing right now. I mean, here's an area at 43.10. Around here, we can see how price reacts to this level and maybe get into a trade, or just might have to wait for structure. Currently, no trade. Waiting for structure. And then we're going to monitor this in case anything happens. And then we have a swing trade going on USD JPY. It's starting to tank. Wow. Okay. It's fun. Super fun. It's not good. Hopefully we don't pull down all the way over here. Let's get the 30-minute. Yeah, we may. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, USD JPY. Okay, currently just waiting. Let's put on some background music. Let's get the DXY. DXY is fucking tanking over here. Hopefully it doesn't tank too much. Want it to clearly uptrend. What's up, bro? You know Nick from Time to Eat Trading. Yes, I know Nick. That is my buddy. Been trading with him. I used to trade with him alongside before he got really big. Back in the day, that is my boy. Just messaged him not too long ago asking for a little bit of advice on leadership. That is my boy. Miss that guy. Miss that guy a lot. I hope him and his family are doing well. What is this? I've known Nick as shit all the way when he had his first kid, man. Shit. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've talked on the phone. But I just texted him the other day. Miss that guy, man. Super good guy. Currently no trade, waiting for structure over here. Let's look at this. Nice rejection. Currently in those swing trades over here on the 4 hour. It's looking really nice. It's not a mark for that. But we want it to come all the way up to 161. Why are they estimating all the way to 160? What the fuck? 161.33? That's crazy. That would be one hell of an estimate. Above 10. Below 255. I mean, we also have a fucking we also have a fucking holiday tomorrow, Juneteenth. Markets will be closed. Okay, so let's talk about what's been going on with the Iran war. Right now, so recently they sent out an MOU, which was a huge de-escalation signal. An MOU is, you know, upon agreement, or even just sending, I think even just sending the agreement, it automatically entails a 60-day ceasefire, which was a huge de-escalation signal. And on top of that, we canceled the evening strikes in the morning before that previous news event headlined. Right now, it's been about a week since we sent out the MOU. We've heard nothing. You know, I think that the fear that they don't sign it and that there's more escalation to happen will essentially drive gold lower because, you know, more escalation, more inflation fears. So that can drive gold down and the US dollar up. More inflation is good for the US dollar. And if we continue to escalate in the Strait of Hormuz, then, you know, the oil prices could rise and potentially make the Fed even more aggressively hawkish. But, you know, I forgot what they said. Them becoming really hawkish over this war premium is just, it wouldn't really help because it's directly affected by war. You know, gas prices are directly affected by war right now. So raising the rates wouldn't be essential. Keeping them at what they are right now is the best possible decision, and that's exactly what they did. They kept the rates the same. They didn't higher them, they didn't lower them. So I think as gold cools off over here, if we somehow, some way, get a signal that, you know, Iran declines the MOU, because right now Trump is asking them to stop their nuclear manufacturing, and you know what country would do that, obviously. So it may be sent back and revised. You know, at first we thought they were going to sign, they still haven't signed. So, you know, who knows? Trump may say, like, oh, if you don't fucking sign this, we're going to bomb you or something like that. So I think that the de-escalation push that we got over here is starting to cool down, and we might start seeing pushes down to support over here. It's really likely at this point because, you know, they've been so stubborn, we've been so stubborn. I think that the war continues and we continue to drop over here on gold. So that's what I think. Below 10. We're just going to hope that the US dollar continues to thrive over here. Let's look at gold with all this nice clean volume over here. Man, I can't believe I didn't get into those sells. I was thinking about sells literally right here, but it wasn't during my trade time, so I was just like, nah, I'll just wait. So waiting for structure. There's no structure right now. Waiting for a continuation signal. That's all we are waiting on. Continuation signal based on the playbook, and that's all I really want. About 45 minutes till London Open. Let's see.
You can have a leadership game plan for your life. Leadership is one of my
Okay. Currently, no trade. Waiting on structure. Oof. I think this could be a good trade idea right here. I'm just gonna get into it. Waiting for this candle to close. We'll see. So basically what we're hoping on is that in the next 6 minutes we can either flip, or we could come down here, next candle comes up and falls back down. Want to get in at a good price, so ended up just taking it. Or move this. We're just gonna hope that, you know, gold has enough volume to continue over here. Wouldn't see why not. 4 hours currently headed down. 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute. Did I take any trade today? Yes, I am currently in USD JPY swings over here. This is the entry. This is the entry over here, and the take profit right here. So we'll see. Just took a trade right now over here on gold. 4 hours trending lower. 4 hour is bullish. 1 hour is bullish. 30 minute. What the fuck? Bullish, bearish. 4 hours bearish. 1 hour is bearish. 30 minutes bearish. 15 minute. We are hoping that in the next 4 minutes we can flip bearish, or we can stay small body bullish, and then the next candle continue down over here. So this is what we're currently in right now. Man, my FX all day account is just still banned over here on Instagram. So unfortunate. I'm the only creator that's really not selling anything. Very unfortunate. Very, very. Okay, 3 more minutes till the candle closes. Let's hope that we can flip bearish over here. Break these lows. Yeah, this looks good over here. Really, really like it. But let's see. Let's see. Because you never know. Gold could just stop us out at any point. What I'll do, I think that I will place a partial stop over here. So if it breaks this high, we close out half. Manage that risk. That's what I'll do. One more minute. Can we flip in the next minute? Probably not, but sets us up for the next candle, and that's great. Look at that. My 50 close 50 may be tapped over here before the next minute comes in. You know what? Let's take that out. Don't want it to get tapped just yet. I want to wait the 18 seconds. Okay, next 15 minute has just opened up over here, and then new 30. Let's hope that we can fall. This looks great. This looks really nice. Let's make sure that my YouTube is finally at the resolution I wanted it. I was streaming on Kick for a minute. Resolution was shit because I wasn't a big creator. They capped out my resolution over here. Yep, got that 1080p going on over here. It's cool. That's cool. Okay, cool. 30 minute is heading down over here. It's a good sign. If we could keep up the momentum and the volume, I think that this trade can work out over here. But we'll see. The USD JPY longs over here looking good as well. Looking really nice. Let's hope that there's enough momentum in the US dollar to continue. In gold, see the position on gold. It's not looking like a lot of momentum over here. Don't really like it. If we can continue, then all right. Let's make sure that we are managing our risk though. It's number one. We want to hope that this 1 hour candle can continue strongly over here. And that is the best case scenario. As we start to break these highs over here. Stop loss is what? 15 pips? Let's hope that in the next 15 minutes here we don't break this high. I mean, not 15 minutes, the next 8 minutes. Okay, since we are about halfway into TP over here, what I think I'll do is add a partial stop at break even. I think that's the smartest decision we can make. Makes a lot of sense to do that because at any point, huge rejection, we could reject at any point. I want to manage risk as hard as possible. You know, FTMO kind of fucked me, and the spread on one of my trades actually hit really bad. Can't believe it. Messaged them, they rejected everything I was talking about. Terrible, 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 terrible. All good though. We're going to just do our thing, manage. We're looking good over here on this swing trade. Looking really, really good. Let's hope that London flies up over here. Waiting on. We just need to stay below over here for London session. If we can stay below with this low of a wick, we can trail our stop loss. And then, you know, hope that the next candle can get us there. Oh, I really hope we don't reject back up to entry over here. Looks like we may. Yep. May reject. Got about 2 more minutes left of this 15-minute candle. Let's just hope we stay bearish over here. Let me move this to the top. One more minute. Come on. Come on. 30 more seconds. Let's not come up to the highs over here. We want the next minute to, effectively bring us down. Huge rejection over here. It's a swing trade, so let's hope. That during a London session, we can hit something really nice over here. Yep. 1 minute just screwed us. Let's make sure. As long as this doesn't break its 15-minute high, I mean, we should be good. Waiting 15 more minutes. You come London session every day? Yes, I do. I am in London session every day. I was previously streaming on Kick. They didn't allow me to change the resolution of my stream. They capped me out at 720p. So I moved back to YouTube over here because I can at least stream at 1080p, 60 FPS, and it's better for clips. Better for clips. So if London session works out for you, come by. We'd love to have you. We usually have some regulars over here, but today it's not looking like. Yep, looks like our 50% may get hit over here, but at least we're managing risk. Yep, 50% is gonna get hit over here. We just closed 50%. May get stopped out over here, but we manage risk. It's fine. Let's look at the 30-minute. Yep, trade is invalid once the previous 30-minute gets hit. Yeah, 12 more minutes to London Open. 12 more minutes. Suffering a bit of a drawdown over here. What I can see is that, maybe we come up over here and then drop back down. Is it unreliable? Maybe. I mean, let's just focus on one trade a day. I'm not really going to stress it too much.
Off on every product. That's upcoming Spring Friday.
Good evening to you and welcome back into Live Now from Fox. My name is Alexandra Goldberg. Now on to a discussion of some news developing overseas, taking a live look here at the White House. After days of speculation, the White House is sharing more details about its tentative peace deal with Iran. While the official text is still not yet been released, only a transcript, senior U.S. officials held a call with reporters today to read parts of the agreement and defend controversial portions. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the details.
We reached an agreement with Iran that achieves everything we set out to accomplish, everything and much more.
While President Trump was praising his Iran deal at the G7 summit, senior U.S. officials held a conference call with reporters to outline the details and defend some controversial provisions. The deal guarantees Iran will destroy its stockpile of enriched uranium, potentially through downblending, and allows toll-free transit through the Strait of Hormuz for 60 days. In exchange, the U.S. will allow Iran to immediately resume oil and petroleum sales and will work with regional partners to develop a $300 billion rebuilding investment fund for Iran. But President Trump insists no money is coming from the U.S.
We're not putting up money. If they're doing things right, if people want to invest, they can invest.
A senior U.S. official says the Iranians asked the White House not to release the text of the deal yet, which is why there are still so many questions about its contents. An in-person signing ceremony was scheduled for Friday in Switzerland, but now President Trump says it could be signed earlier remotely to speed up reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Although some foreign policy analysts don't think it's the right move.
It does not look like we are the victors. It looks at best as though it is a tie, or in fact that the Iranians did pull some wins out.
Serious talks on Iran's nuclear program will begin after the initial memorandum is signed. Vice President J.D. Vance is still planning to travel to Switzerland Friday to start those negotiations. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor with that report. Let's continue our reporting on this topic. This has been a turning point in the overseas conflict in Iran. The Pakistani prime minister said both American and Iranian leaders signed a deal on ending the war. President Donald Trump says he signed the agreement while at a dinner at the Palace of Versailles. That's the video you're seeing on your screen of that moment. The document, called a Memorandum of Understanding in Pakistan, says it's taking effect immediately. Let's welcome in Hal Kempfer, national security analyst and host of the Strat podcast. Hal, let's start here. Who has the upper hand in this agreement?
Alexandra, it's an interesting memorandum of understanding, and the only thing I would emphasize, it's an MOU. It's not an agreement per se, even though we call it an agreement. It is a memorandum
No,
of
not
understanding,
live
which is
account.
just the
It's
mutual
the
understanding.
FTMO account.
I will say
I
that
am
it is
trading the
it is permanently
FTMO
criticism
account.
for some of the things that are in there. First off, there's no regime change. In fact, it has language that says respect the sovereignty and will, respect
Waiting
each
on London
other's
Open.
and will not interfere with
Waiting
each
on
other's
London Open.
internal,
You know what I think that could happen over here
internal
for
country
High
issue or
is that we
internal
come up,
dynamics
break the
tied to
high,
that.
then come
So
down.
apparently, we're not going to get involved with trying to do
Let me
regime change.
get rid of that.
Ballistic missiles were
I
not
think that we
addressed.
break
The
this high and
president was
then come
talking about that
down. You
earlier,
know,
but
my stop loss
that
is
had
at the
been something
previous
we
high,
talked about.
but
That was one of the great criticisms of the JCPOA
I'm
is
not
it didn't
really
address
sure about
ballistic
it.
missiles. This agreement doesn't address that. Doesn't really put any curtailing of Iran's ability to support terrorism through its proxies around the region. And the thing that really was kind of interesting, we had pushed back. Obviously, Israel had pushed back, but we had pushed back consistently on Lebanon
Waiting
being part
on
of this
6 more
agreement.
minutes.
And all of a sudden, the fighting in Lebanon is right there in the agreement. It's being fully addressed. So it's as far as who has the upper hand, there's a lot of people that feel that this was kind of cut an agreement or cut something, put something together to get the strait opened and make sure the fighting doesn't start again for a while. So in that regard, some say
Hopefully
it
6 more
might be a
minutes. We
draw.
do
Some
not
say it
hit
might have
my
gone a
stop
little bit
loss.
to the Iranians.
But we
Obviously, the White
are
House is
in
not going to
these
explain
over
it that way,
here.
but it's a really interesting agreement that came out of this. I have to tell you, a lot of us have shook our heads looking at this thing today, saying, And I've read some very strong analysis from some very, I would say, very conservative national security experts on this, and they had some strong feelings about this thing.
So 5 more minutes till London session open. Let's hope that we can flip over here on gold and stay below our stop loss, but
we did want to
who
show this
knows.
image as well. The president of Iran signing the MOU between Tehran and Washington digitally and remotely. You can see that picture there on the left-hand side of your screen. As I mentioned, I want to go through some of the specifics with you. We know that one of the sticking points throughout this entire war has been Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium. What you're seeing on your screen right there is a direct quote from that transcript that we've had. Hal, I wanted to go into a little bit more specifics. How does the MOU deal with this?
Well, it's interesting. The MOU basically just reiterates what the Iranians have been saying for years. They've always said we will not develop a nuclear weapon, and then they turn around and they covertly they're trying to develop a nuclear weapon. So they're once again signing an agreement saying they're not going to develop a nuclear weapon. All right, doesn't mean a lot. As far as the enriched uranium, the disposition of that's to be worked out over the next 60 days. So that thing, they just kind of kick that can down the road a bit, and they're going to kind of work on that now. With that said, I can give you a very contrarian view, and the Iranians are masters of just dragging things out. Their negotiation strategy has always been draw it out as long as possible, and eventually your opponent will get so tired of negotiating, they'll just agree to things that they otherwise wouldn't agree to. We might be doing that in reverse. We may have set this thing up in such a way that enables us to draw this thing out, and I would say draw it out 60 days, which would put us into
Waiting 3 more minutes.
September,
Hopefully we
and
don't
then
get
if it's
stopped
another
out
60
over
day
here in 3
extension, that puts
minutes.
us
If we could
past the
stay
midterm
below
election.
this area, that would be
There
great.
might be some of that in terms of that, and that may be why this is written so broadly, which it doesn't address. What are we supposed to do about the enriched uranium? Where's that supposed to go? And the de-enrichment thing is really interesting because that really gets to the question, are we doing anything more than what we had in the JCPOA, or is the JCPOA provisions actually stronger?
You mentioned just moments ago the question of Lebanon. I want to throw this
About
up
2 more
here on
minutes
our
over
screen
here.
as well. This is part of point 1 of the agreement. It commands a permanent termination of military operations on all fronts, including Lebanon. Of course, Hal, Israel and Lebanon were not a part of the negotiations. Do you see any concerns with compliance in this area?
Well, obviously, the government of Lebanon and Israel are not thrilled with this because you have the U.S. and Iran negotiating something that deals with the threat of Hezbollah, which is in Lebanon, that attacks Israel, and they're not parties to the agreement. So that's obviously a big concern, and there's been some very strong statements that have been said about that. But one thing I will point out. We might be at a point, if you look at how things are kind of going, that this might not have been the worst of all things. Israel has moved well up into Lebanon. They're north of the Litani River.
Need to go bathroom,
They've taken
boys.
some
I
key
will
terrain.
check back
They
on this
could
trade.
literally